Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Stu coming to you with my favorite summertime fishing lures. I got a wide selection. Like I say in my previous videos, I like to give y'all a lot of choices to fish with. But for summertime, you're talking top water, you're talking frog. So my favorite lure I like to fish with early in the morning is a frog. Top water frog, this is a Googan Squad frog. I like to throw it in the lily pads, grass, around laydowns, and get that reaction strike. Frogs, you hear them croaking in the summertime, you can't beat a top water frog. Now on the flip side of that, once the frog bite's gone, I like to use a buzz bait. This buzz bait has actually got a toad on it, and it's a Strike King buzz bait, and it's a skipping buzz bait. So you can throw this around grass lines, in a pocket of grass. You know, you can throw this in a lot of places you can't throw top water lures. It's got treble hooks that hang down. So I love throwing it around the edge of that grass line, get parallel with it. If you go into the grass, it's fine. It's usually not gonna hang up. You can skip it under laydowns, trees, tree branches hanging over the water. You can skip it under that, skip it on the docks. It's just a fun buzz bait to have, and that's why I chose that particular buzz bait by Strike King. Now once the sun gets up, let me get this back in. Once the sun gets up and it gets hot, I like to go to soft plastic. Alright, this is a 10.5-inch Zoom Old Monster rubber worm. You can't go wrong with that. It's either go big or go home in the summertime. You know, bass, they're looking to feed up, so they want a big meal. So throw the biggest thing you got. And this is one of them right here. So I love throwing that, and it's in a June bug color. Down here in South Georgia, June bug's a good color. Florida, places like that. I also have a stick worm, June bug color. You skip it on the docks. You can skip it up on the laydowns, anything. They even got a little spinner on the end, so when it's fluttering down, that little splinter bait will flutter and reel it back to the boat. It'll flutter then too. So I like to have something, some kind of soft plastic like that I can skip. It's on light tackle, so I like fishing it on braid too. Alright. This is one of my skip setups also. This is a soft plastic crawfish. It's by, I think it's a Rage Craw by Strike King. And I like skipping this on the docks and stuff. So I always have you some soft plastics that you can skip up on the laydowns and docks, because the bass are like us. They like to be in the shade. When it gets hot, they go for shade. So have you something you can skip in those shade lines. Try to skip it or pitch it to the farthest part of that dock. You know, all the way back. They like to get tucked way back in that shade. All right. Yeah. Like I say, when they get super hot and you can't bear it, punch. This is my punch rig set up. Okay, this is a 1 ounce weight. Find you the thickest mats and punch it down those mats. Sometimes you gotta flip it up in the air to get it to punch through those mats. So find you a little hole in the grass or lily pads and punch it down in there. All right. And this is, I believe, a Magnum Rage Bug, I think it is, by Strike King. Like I said, it's the biggest one they make, the Magnum. So go big or go home, summertime. Got it on 65-pound test braid and a heavy action rod. All right. Got my crankbaits. I love fishing these crankbaits and rocks. Oop, that jug almost stuck. All right, this is a crawfish pattern crankbait. Just throw it on the edge of them rocks and just let it tick off the rocks and you will get bit. I got some teeth marks on here. Yep. Now, most of your fisheries, they're gonna have shad and they're gonna have crawfish, they're gonna have brim. So when the brim on bed in the summertime, bass gonna be lurking around those brim beds, throw your crankbait. Something good to throw through a brim bed, around a brim bed. You wouldn't think so, but it is. Bass are always lurking. And throw this as a shad imitating crankbait by Strike King. I believe it's summer sexy shad because it's summertime, it's hot. The humidity is about 1,000 degrees. I'm sweating like crazy and it's overcast. It ain't even, sun ain't even out good yet. Well, it's not hot yet, hot because of the sun, but it's getting there. When you hear those bugs, it's about to get hot. I also crank the rocks with that crankbait too. Let's see what else I got. Alright. Still got my spinner bait. Early summer, you got the shad spawn going on. Throw that double willow leaf spinner bait. I still like to throw it, even though shad spawn is not on right now in South Georgia. Still good spinner bait to throw. That's a Z-Man spinner bait. Also have a chatterbait in the shad pattern also. Like throwing that chatterbait. It's got the chrome blade. To me, it mimics some bait fish, so I always have your shad pattern chatterbait on. This is one of my favorite of all times shad imitator. All right, this is a Strike King caffeine shad, or you can use a fluke. Zoom makes a fluke. That's what I started out with. Just about all the companies have these. Guggen Squad makes one. I have some of those too. And this is the best shad, to me, the best shad imitator out there, by far. And last but not least, we're talking about shad imitators. I've got an underspin. Oh, coming at you, baby, right in your living room. This is a weedless underspin. It's got the belly weighted hook, and also the spinner coming off the bottom, but it's weedless. You can hide your hook right there in the tip of it once you thread it. That way you can throw it around, lay down the grass. You know, if you got a pocket in the grass, throw it parallel the bank with it, parallel the grass with it. I like that weedless option. All right. I got another underspin, and here come the gnats. It don't take but one gnat to aggravate you, I promise you. And they do a good job at it. All right. Here's another underspin, and this one is not weedless. Hooks out. I like to throw it around points. I like to throw it around stuff that won't get you hung up, basically, because that hook's out. So you can throw it around the grass lines, just on the outside of the grass, and also along the bank line. Okay. Well, you throw it up in some laydowns and way up in that grass, you will get hung up. But the hookup ratio to me is a lot better with this than the one that has the weedless one. All right, so those are some of my choices. I like to give you a lot of options. You know, it's kind of hard to narrow it down to the top 5, but with those options, man, just get out there and enjoy the summertime bass fishing. You know, it's hot, I'm sweating, I ain't even fishing, I'm just standing in the yard. So like I said, some of the best fishing is in the summertime because the fish are actively feeding. They're up shallow. My favorite type of fishing is shallow. So just get out there, wet the hook, have fun, stay hydrated, keep that sunblock on. I ain't trying to work on my tan, so I don't put suntan lotion on. I put sunblock and stay covered up, you know. But in the meantime, y'all like, share, subscribe. Man, I sure appreciate it. Comment. Hey, take a kid fishing. Hopefully next time y'all see me, I'll be out on the lake. All right, peace.